Hello, guys. We are here for a special GTA 5 Trailer 2 analysis. I'm Asim. It's been a while since I've been back on the mic, and I've got Ariel, Mr.
Hello,
Ariel Harvey with us. Ariel, how are you doing, sir?
I'm fine, thanks. I'm not picking up the mic as much as I used to, but it's good to be back.
It is good to be back, and we're here. Like we don't do this often, we did it for the first GTA 5 trailer, and we're back for the second trailer. Let's kick it off. Let's start the trailer up. So yeah, it's not appropriate for children, Ariel. That's for sure. So we pause at the start right there, and you see the epic scope, Ariel, the epic scope, which we've been led to believe, that it's sort of the details that have sort of come out of the last few days. What do we think? It looks quite impressive.
It does look pretty good. You've got that Los Angeles haze
Mhm.
down at the bottom there. You can see the bridge going across. I mean, if this is going to be in the final version of the game on consoles, this is pretty impressive.
It is. It is. I think it's very impressive for the current crop of consoles in terms of the draw distance as well. Is quite impressive as well. Yeah, very good. And then we go on a second into the trailer just after that, and we see what is one of the protagonists' house, Michael. We see the detail in the background. We see the hills of Los Angeles or Los Santos, and we see a tennis court. Ariel, I know you're a tennis fan. Do you think we're gonna have a playable tennis in this?
Possibly. We've had oddities of playable stuff like basketball in San Andreas. It wasn't really that
Yeah,
playable, but it was interactive. I'll give it that.
yeah.
Possibly some interaction here. I mean, you just don't know. You can't tell from these trailers, but they're showing you off this stuff, and we can only hope that there's going to be some interaction.
Indeed, it's the little details, and if there's a tennis playable in the game, like I don't think Rockstar will do it by the halves. It'll be a decent probably game of tennis as well. But yeah, you see some nice detail again. The palm trees in the foreground. It's looks quite detailed. But we move on to the trailer, and we see a car, the house, Rockstar Presents, and we see a couple of women arguing. We see Michael's wife and Michael's daughter. It seems like it could be a common theme, as you might see later on. Ari, how do you feel about having your your wife and daughter arguing throughout the game?
Well, it's setting the scene for this particular character, isn't it? It's showing that he has a normal family. They argue. They obviously live in a very nice house, but it's like an episode of Orange County
Yeah,
where
yeah. Nicely put, nicely
they're
put.
all rich and they're all like enjoying themselves. But yeah, they have fights, and he's a normal family guy.
Yeah, yeah. So he is one of the protagonists, Michael. He seems like he's a pretty rich guy. We move on in the trailer. He's sort of relaxing, having a bit of whiskey by the pool. It's a nice little scene going on. The pool's shimmering. He's having his whiskey. Looks very nice. And then we go on and we see the main title, the main GTA 5 logo. And again, we see a bit of the scope of the game. Like you see, I think there's a nice little contrast here, Ariel. What do you think? There's like the sort of posh Los Santos in the background, and sort of like the sort of gritty, part of the town in the
The slums of the
foreground.
aqueduct going there.
Yeah,
But I really like this picture because it shows that the city's alive. That, people are going to work. There's a bus. You can see there's probably people on there going to work. There's a train going by, and there's a tanker or something, and they're shipping something, and there's taxis. I mean, this place is going to be alive when we're playing it, more so than any other GTA game. That's how I feel when I see this shot.
indeed, indeed. You put it nicely there again. I mean, and we've been to LA as well, and it's sort of like the contrast there is pretty. It's quite realistic. It's not
Yeah,
too bad. Yeah,
pretty good.
pretty good, pretty good. And we move on. And then we see one of the other characters sort of come into play. We see trucks going in the foreground, and we see the usual typical GTA humor of a bar, and there's a bar fight going on called Piss Wasser. I think that's how it's actually pronounced. They're sort of playing on
Yeah.
play on words there. Typical GTA humor, though, Ariel. Though it's
Yeah, it's typical from Rockstar, and I saw a tweet today saying, it's good that they're not taking it too seriously. They still got the humor in there.
yeah,
Still a very violent game.
indeed, 18 rated, indeed. It probably will be. And then we see Trevor having a chat with some bloke in the water. There's a caravan in the background, and the water effects. I think this is what I initially noticed after watching the trailer a few times. The water effects look quite nice compared to GTA 4, where it was they were good as well, but it seemed to have stepped up a level. I'm not sure if you agree with this.
Yeah, definitely. The water really looks good, and you can see the guy submerged in there. Maybe it would be nice to see a bit of transparency and see the bottom of his
Maybe
leg, but it's pretty good. And the caravan in the background, I think this part is where he says something about drugs.
he does. He
And
does.
I think this is an homage to Breaking Bad,
Oh,
where
okay.
they cook their crystal meth inside a camper van, and so maybe these guys have copied the idea and they've got a camper van and they're cooking some drugs in there or something. I don't know. It's just me because I'm a massive Breaking Bad fan, but yeah,
Well,
that's what comes
well,
to mind.
I wouldn't be surprised. GTA like to look at popular culture and stuff, so wouldn't be surprised if there's some sort of Breaking Bad sort of inspiration there somewhere here. And then we move on to the trailer a little bit more, and we see Trevor's a bit angry, but he's showing off some some emotion there, and it seems like the facial detail has improved as well. You can see his sort of wrinkles there. You can see his sort of eyes frowning. I mean, it wasn't bad in GTA 4, but Nico most of the time his face was like, if you looked, it was kind of blurred most of the time. Improved facial detail. Ari, what do you think?
Yeah, definitely. You can see some scars. I think it's a scar on his
Yeah,
eyebrow or some funky wrinkle. But Rockstar are really good with the whole facial stuff, and yeah, they've improved it this time. It's good because this guy's a bit crazy, and you can see it on his face.
yeah. He's nuts. He's the second protagonist we see in the trailer. Trevor, he is a bit crazy, a bit nuts, and you see that as the trailer goes along. But yeah, we move on and we see a sort of a motorstorm style, vehicle there. But what I noticed here was that he blows up his house, Trevor, as you do, and some impressive effects, some impressive effects going on with the house crumbling down, the fire and the smoke coming off. Again, it's a step up from GTA 4, and it seems like they're pushing the boat on the current consoles here, Ariel.
Well, they certainly are. Like this is no Crisis 3 here,
Oh, of
but
course.
as you said, it's a step up from what they previously had, and as a massive open world game with a massive scope of distance. This is pretty good. It's pretty impressive, and it's definitely they're moving on with their visual effects.
Indeed, and if you look carefully as well, you see a little bit of the sort of glow from the fire, sort of reflecting almost on his clothes, on Trevor's clothes as he walks by as well. So I guess the little details that Rockstar are good at, and if you look at the trailer finally with a fine tooth comb, you'll see these littered throughout the trailer here. But we move on and we see Trevor talking a bit, and then we see a nice nighttime shot of Los Santos again. Uh, it is nighttime, but the detail still seems to be there. The sort of bright lights and the detail on the bridge as well. You can look into the background. Nighttime stuff, like usually you see developers sort of pushing back a little in terms of detail, but the detail here still seems to be there, Ariel.
Yeah, definitely. It's got that dusk feel on the left corner. You got that orangey sunset happening. Lights are starting to shine through the city.
Hmm.
I wonder how quick that's going to progress from day to night. How long this dusk effect is going to be there. It's going to be interesting to see when we get the game.
Indeed, indeed. And we move on a few seconds further, and we see sort of a bit of the sort of, I don't know, slums part, a bit of the sort of gritty part of Los Santos, and we see a train moving through the middle of the streets. We see the bridge in the background. We see a bus going past, and we see a stadium in the background as well, Ariel. Maybe we'll get some sort of sports going on in the stadium, bit of hopeful sports in the background, Ariel.
Possibly, but not being from LA, I'm not sure exactly what stadiums they
I
have
know.
there. I do know that there was talk of E3 not happening because they want to build an American football stadium
Yeah,
um, downtown. But
maybe this is it.
yeah, maybe, or maybe I don't know. Maybe it's
Yeah,
not a stadium. Who knows? But
who
again, the
knows?
city's alive with the bus and the train and people walking on the street. It's good to see.
Indeed, indeed. And we can have a fair few crashes as well. I can imagine you driving through and you just
Yeah.
bash through the train as well. Yeah, but we see trailer moving on again, and we see Michael having his first encounter with the third protagonist, Franklin here. And we see a car speeding away, and we have a bit of a pause as the car speeds away here. We mentioned in our first analysis that each car will have a different number plate. So just take a notice of this one, Ariel. You know, we pointed it out in the first trailer, did we not?
We
We did.
did, but I can't even remember the first number plate from the first trailer.
Oh, don't worry about it. Just remember this one, and
All
we'll
right,
get on to another one
all
later.
right, I
Don't worry
remember it.
about it. Don't worry about it, Ariel.
34GSH 373. Cool.
Exactly. Don't worry about it. Cool. And we move on a little. Chase is still going on. Franklin having a little bit of a tiff with his girlfriend or something, and then we see a chase with the police and some vintage car there, and we see in the background there's a sign saying "apartment to rent." We were just discussing this previously, Ariel. Maybe we'll have like where you can rent apartments out, make some money. What maybe sell some drugs in these apartments. Who knows, Ariel?
Definitely, you could. they've done this before in games where you can buy properties and then make money off them.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's going to be an arbitrary feature like that, or is there going to be actually some real gameplay involved and some actual missions
yeah.
from buying certain properties? Maybe you rent out a house to be, to make drugs, and you've actually got to go and you've got to run the place. Maybe I don't know.
Oh, yeah, yeah. It'll be a pretty cool feature, but I imagine you'll have your garage where you can park your cars and stuff as usual GTA style. But yeah, it'll be nice to know if we're gonna have some sort of property, sort of mini gameplay included in there as well. Again, we move on. Still the sort of chat going on with Franklin and a bit of a car crash, which looks quite impressive. And then we see which might be a mission, but we see an Apple spoof or parody of the iMac. They like to have a bit of popular culture, as you mentioned. They've got their version of the iMac in here, Ariel. It's a nice little bit. It's a nice little parody, don't you think so?
It's a great parody and it's a great shot because you can see it's a sophisticated office. It's got blinds that some are half down, some are fully down, and you can see the light shining through onto the screen of the computer.
It does
And
look good.
it's really impressive effect. I mean, I can't believe this is going to be on consoles.
Well, it is going to be on a console, Xbox and PS3, but yeah, you're right. A bit of a fractured lighting coming through there, showing off on the screen in the background all at the same time. And this is probably, as you move on, probably a mission that will be part of the game. It's a bit of a crazy mission because it seems like Michael's saving his son, but then a quick pause as he falls into the car. It's a nice little shiny red car there, lots of details. But we see a number plate there, Ariel. And is this a different number plate, Ariel?
It is indeed.
It is. We were right. We were right. So there will be, each car will have its own unique number plate. Again, it's the little details that Rockstar, are good at, and this is just another example. But yeah, the cars look great as well. His son looks great falling into the car. A bit of a bit of physics going on there as well at the same time. We see a little bit of chat going on with Michael and his son. Bounce. He's talking about bouncing. Obviously, Michael's a bit older.
Yeah,
No idea what's going on. And Trevor's going crazy, stomping on people. And then shortly after that, a plane goes by, Ariel.
it
And
does indeed.
what do you think of this shot with the plane going by, Ariel?
Uh, it's pretty cool. I mean, it was mentioned, I think, in the last trailer that we had. I think we had a plane go by in that one.
We did.
Uh, yeah, it's just showing a different part of the city off it, more the green area.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting. There are going to be so many different vehicles in this game. Flying, if they include flying again, I'll be very happy for it to be back.
Well, it's going to be, yeah, it seems like they are. And again, it's sort of flying by the sort of mountainous areas of Los Santos, looking very, very impressive. And again, we sort of move on trailer. We see a bank heist going on, lots of heists apparently in this game. And we see Ariel, a dog. A dog,
Indeed.
Ariel. We see dogs. GTA has dogs. This has been going crazy over Twitter. Trailer was announced. GTA 5 has dogs.
Well,
Ariel,
when you play GTA 4 or GTA's before, did you say, you know what this game needs?
it needs dogs.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't think so, but I'm sure they can add. You'd think that all these crime lords would have attack dogs in their mansions and so on. How have they gone without dogs for so long?
I'm not sure. Maybe there'll be like cats DLC as well at the same time. So dogs and cats, and you can fight them out. You know what I mean? But yeah, maybe you can ride the dogs. Who knows? Yeah,
Perhaps.
I doubt that. But yeah, again, we move on. We see a heist going on, and we see guy rappelling down the building, and we've got a pause here. We see, I think this is Michael in the same suit he was in the first trailer, Bug Stars. So I think the details that have been leaked so far, well, not leaked, that have come out so far, mention that there'll be lots of heists and stuff in the game.
Hmm.
What do you think about this, Ariel? Heist. Do you like a good heist?
Oh, I've recently been playing Payday the Heist,
Oh, okay.
so which is obviously a game dedicated to heists. So
Yes.
if they draw inspiration from that game, and they get it right, yeah, why not? Can certainly be a fun mission type, and the mission type you can repeat whilst also making it different each time.
Exactly. You can switch between the characters. Loads of replayability going on there if you can switch between characters. But yeah, well, let's move on to the trailer. You see motorbikes as well, and then you see the craziness return to GTA. Ariel, people have been asking for this, like GTA 4 was too serious. You see a guy jumping out of a jeep in a plane and parachuting down onto the city.
Yeah, we're in uncharted territory here.
This looks insane. Like you really see like the clouds sort of drifting by as well, and then you see sort of the desert area below. I presume as you're flying out, you'll get closer and closer. I'm not sure obviously how that will look, but it's an impressive shot, isn't it? Really.
Yeah, it's pretty. Once again, they've done these amazing panoramic shots really well. Uh, Certainly for this trailer, I hope we can enjoy them in the game as well.
Indeed, indeed, it does look very, very impressive. Then we see like bike chases going on as well at the same time, and we see an epic crane crash, crane, crane crash, train crash. There we go. My words. It was so good that I was lost for words there almost. An epic train crash area. What do we think of this? Like the train crashing, Trevor, the crazy guy as he is jumping off. I'm not sure where he jumps off to if he dies, but
Well,
he
if you didn't
jumps
think
off.
he was crazy before, you do now.
Yeah,
Yeah, pretty insane. I bet he probably switched the tracks or something
probably.
in that mission. But yeah, it's just the craziness, the big epic moments, and we're witnessing one here in the trailer. I'm sure they've got even bigger ones that they're hiding from us to savor for the game.
Yeah. And it's sort of as the crash comes together, you see the sparks on the track as well. It's the little details and the way
Yeah,
the sort of the two cars as they collide sort of crumple as well. It just looks so good. It just looks so good. It's just too impressive. And then we move on. We see the three protagonists as your players come together, having a bit of a chat, calling each other crazy, as you do. What do you think about this whole this three protagonist stuff going on, Ariel? Details were revealed recently. What are your thoughts?
well, it's different. They're obviously mixing it up. We're normally so used to playing one character, and almost becoming that character over a game. So we might feel less attached to
Yeah,
these characters, and I'm sure everyone's going to have their favorites. But they're going to be able to justify the story of wacky things a lot better. I mean, Trevor's going to be doing all the crazy stuff,
yeah.
whilst the other guys might be taking it a little bit easy.
Well, yes.
Perhaps in previous games you couldn't rationale decisions of some characters. Like, no, my character doesn't do this. He just did this. Whereas they can share it out between them. They've all got their own personality.
Indeed, indeed. And I think it keeps you in the moment to moment gameplay. If you want to switch, stay in the action, it keeps you there. And again, it gives you massive amounts of replayability if you think about it. Think about how big GTA games usually are. You can just sort of play it again as you like, almost switching at any point you like, which is just crazy when you think about it. And another point of crazy as you move on to the trailer. Sorry, we see a jet take down a helicopter in the sky just near the Vinewood sign. Again, another example of the craziness returning into GTA 5 area. What do we think? An
Yeah,
epic moment here.
it's a real battlefield moment in a GTA game.
It is. Imagine you
Uh,
can sort of get into a jet, jump out, and then jump into the helicopter as well.
maybe we'll see people make videos of it.
Exactly, but it's just again even when you look at the helicopter exploding, the sort of the effects surrounding it. I know you're a big PC gamer, Ariel, and we're not really again we're not sure which platform they're showing this off on. I'm presuming it's got to be one of the consoles, but it looks very impressive.
It does look very impressive, and they are developing a PC version, but it's coming out much later, and I don't think they've really started on the PC version. So this does look like it's intended for consoles,
Yeah,
but they could be,
yeah,
pumping up. They could be running it on a PC
indeed.
in the background. We still don't know, and they could just be pumping up certain things. But yeah, it looks quite good.
It looks being refrained there as usual, Ariel, being refrained. But we do move on, and the trailer sort of comes to a close. We see the three protagonists there, and we see the logo. Pre-order now, spring 2013. Ariel, this second trailer. It's been a year since the last trailer, and we did that analysis. It's been, time flies by, but it seems, a year on. How do you feel about, GTA 5 and what you've seen in this trailer?
I'm actually more excited now than I was back then. Back then it was just the trailer. Oh yeah, we're gonna have another guy and traveling around a city.
Yeah,
I think this trailer really brings the city to life. It shows you some really crazy moments, and we got to meet the other characters, which is really going to, it's quite exciting for me because it's a new experience. We haven't played a GTA game like this before. It's going to be
yeah.
completely different.
Well, indeed. Why, I couldn't have said it better myself. Extremely, extremely excited to see, what comes next. I'm presuming they'll release more and more details. Obviously, we've got sort of release date spring 2013, but a very impressive trailer. Um, you know, and that's our thoughts on the GTA 5 trailer too. Ariel, do you want to anything else before we, let everything slide and go away.
Bring on spring 2013.
There we go. Goodbye, guys.